Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm Kara, your local art and green witch. Today we're going to look at 12 different ways to explore and celebrate the winter solstice with our kids. This is a special time, and it's not just a time for them to receive gifts and getting spoiled. I think this is a time to really bring on the new season, bring on the way of the new year, of the coming of the sun, of the longer days coming into essence from the holly and the oak king and their battles that happen. Like, tell the stories, tell involved, do some crafts, have some fun. Today we're going to look at some traditional and some new school ways of celebrating winter solstice. Okay, so 12 different ways we can celebrate the winter solstice with our wee witchlings. So number one is going to be our major one to make all the other ones work out of the other 11 categories. And we're going to go for a winter walk. We're going to get outside the house. We're going to don our jacket, don our boots, get outside, explore, hug some trees, find some rocks, find some leaves, find some pine cones, find some ivy, collect them all, grab some berries, grab everything you can think of for some crafts. But ask permission first and leave an offering. So for an offering, what you could do, you can leave, say, some sacred tobacco. You can, or leave a herb in replacement. Yeah, I have small little teeny tiny, they're called, the proper term is harmony crystals, but I call them wishing crystals. Sometimes I'll leave a little crystal behind. Now, you don't need to leave an offering at every little bush, every little tree, every little place where you forage for your crafts. Just the one place, and you ask for permission, and you'll feel it. So some people are like, how do you know? Like, you can tell. You can feel it if you're welcomed or not. But definitely by leaving offerings, giving thanks and gratitude is going to go a long way. If you want to hug a tree, just in a little tidbit, doesn't have to go with the winter walk. Well, kind of does. You grab your two fingers together like this, and you lock them together, and you go in front of a tree. And if you can't unlock your fingers, the tree doesn't want to be hugged or doesn't want to share that energy with you. If it instantly comes apart, you know that you're welcome. You can also use that with humans too. I did that to one lady and I was like, oh my God, it was locked. Sometimes you can actually just check energies with someone if you should interact with them or not. They're going to wonder what you're doing when you're going like this in front of them, but who cares? I think I'm weird anyway, so it doesn't matter. So trees, you can do that to find out if the trees is really ready to bring in your essence, bring your energy, and enjoy the area. If not, try a different area or a different day. I've never had any issues when I'm bringing offerings and bringing gratitude. Another one you can do is, one of my new favorites is the Solstice Spiral with a candle in the center. So you can make these solstice spirals with rocks, with branches, with evergreens, with twigs. You can use shells. You can make a giant one, like a labyrinth one with almost like a Hecate labyrinth coming in here. You can have the spiral come all the way up to a Yule log in the center with candles on top of that, where everybody puts in their wishes on bay leaves and leaves their offerings. You can also make a small crystal grid as well. You can do, I'm baking with salt and flour and water, kind of like the Play-Doh, but just drying it dough, making a spiral, and then I'm putting in 12 candles for the 12 days of Christmas. So different ways to rock in rebirth, the rebirth symbol, because there's one spiral will go one way, one spiral will go the other, and I'm rocking the rebirth way. So after we've done our winter walk, we want to make some crafts. So another one is our winter walk wreath. So anything that you've gathered, you can either get a pre-made wire wreath and then glue on pine cones and stuff and build it up, and then build up your leaves and whatnot all in the front, or different rose flowers or dried. Try to grab things that are from the forest if you can. If you don't have access to a forest, maybe a park, you might find some dried flowers and whatnot too you can put on there. The possibilities are endless, but get them out. Drive out of the city if you have to. Get them out of the city. Find a lake, find a river, find a stream, find something. There's something somewhere. Get your kids out of the house if you don't have access to, if you're in a big city, that is. Now, after we've collected our items for our wreath, now we're going to make a Yule log. So a Yule log is super fun for the solstice times. You can decorate it with plants and foliage and cedar and flowers. You can take dried bay leaves and write your wishes or intentions for the new year. You can just leave some bay leaves in a little bowl with a felt pen beside it, and people can write their wishes and desire. I'm looking at mine over there. That's where I was just looking. And you can just leave them on the table or the mantle, and people can put them out on there. This year I wasn't able to find a birch log, but I found a birch branch on the ground. So I cut little tiny branches, little pieces, that I made miniature Yule logs. So one's going to go on my altar, one's going to go on my mantle, and one's going to go on my tree. So different ways you can rock the Yule log. Bring it in with the holly and the oak god. You can tell your stories to your kids about the tales of the battles of the two kings, not gods, sorry, kings, gods, same thing. And you can tell the tales of the winters and summer solstice as the battles of each of the seasons come around. And just celebrate with some Yuletide stories as you're making your crafts. Another one you could do is a wishing cone. A wishing cone also sets your desires, your wishes for the new year. You can put a coin at the top of it, and then you douse it with candle wax, or you can dip the whole thing in candle wax. You get little pieces of paper, little parchments, and you write your wishes or your desires, your intentions, even gratitude. Write down gratitude, things you're going to let go, things you're going to need that you want to bring into your life. And then you roll them up, these little scrolls, and you squish them into the little pine cone here and there. Now you could take that pine cone when you're done and throw it into the fire, into the bonfire, and let that burn so it sets and up your wishes into the year and up into the universe. And or what I've done, I kept mine, and every time I look at it, it's on my money altar. And every time I look at it, I'm thinking about it. I'm putting those intentions back in. And at this year, this time this year, then I'm going to burn this cone, and I'm going to make a new one for the new year. Another one you can do with the kids that I don't know what it is, but beeswax candles. Rolling beeswax candles is so easy and so fun. And they're so easy to cut out designs, and you don't even have to glue it on. Just a little bit of a lighter heat up, even with your fingers. You can warm up the wax, and you can put on little designs and flowers and suns and symbols for the upcoming season. I would definitely use some sun symbols. Now, freeze and ice lantern is also really cool. Keep those margarine containers, all those little Tupperware containers that you have, little round ones. You can stick a candle inside, a little votive candle. Pour your water. You can put in your berries, maybe some cranberries, some little branches, some twigs, some pine nuts, some things like that. You can add nuts in there. Pour your water in, your level up, put it in the freezer, put it outside, depending on how cold it is for you, wherever you are. And then you can take out the container after it's all frozen, and you have an icicle with all these little beautiful little things you put inside, from berries to branches to the evergreens. And once you light that candle, it's going to make it glow. So you can put them all along your walkway. You can even put them in your Solstice Spiral coming up as well. Now, making ornaments from natural materials, oranges, twigs, cinnamon, again, the berries, the branches, moss, lichen, anything you can find outside. You can make stars and runes out of your little bitty branches. Now, one of my favorite things to do, it's a little bit of a pooper thing to do, but it's called surprise sunflowers. Yay! So I go along my merry little way while I'm walking. I'm like a little Johnny Appleseed, but with sunflowers. So everywhere I go, I happen to drop some sunflowers. I might just sprinkle some out over here or sprinkle some out over there. Sometimes they pop up in parks. Sometimes they pop up in your yard. Sometimes if you're a friend of mine, you may get sunflowers that pop up in your yard, and to this day you still don't know why. We just say, oh, must have been the birds dropping some bird seed or something. That's interesting. So surprise sunflowers, my friends. It's a very fun thing to do. Winter sow some seeds. That's right. We're winter sowing. I like to do it anyway. Sunflowers pop up in my friends and family's yard all the time, and they don't know where it comes from. And that's okay. Surprise sunflowers are fun. You can watch your work. Especially if you like it, if you have a dog, you're going for a walk, you can see all your year's growth, your summer's growth of your sunflowers popping up in different parts of the park and yards. And it's not really, I don't know, some people are very particular about their yards. You can tell they're quite landscaped and very immaculate. So you'd probably may not want to sprinkle some sunflower seeds there. Probably shouldn't. The next one is solstice cookie. Bake in intention and use some stuff that you forage for over the summer. So try to use as many natural ingredients as you can, or different items that you forage for during the summertime, or getting natural herbs or ingredients that you can put inside your solstice cookies. Kids love cookies. It's always good to have. A baking intention into the cookie is another really cool way to throw out some desires and needs for the new year. Now, make a winter solstice lantern and go for a night walk with your new lantern. Recycled materials, paper materials, there's so many different ways to make a lantern these days. And just enjoy a beautiful night walk. Get all the kids out, get them all bundled up. And it is so cool, and it's such a cool photographic opportunity to have the kids and their lanterns out on a little winter walk. Have some hot chocolate when you get back and have those cookies ready, nice and warm. Oh, it'd be the way to go. Well, thanks so very much for joining me today, and I wish you an absolutely magical Yule. And I wish you and yours the most magical season to come for this new year.